Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name's Katie and I make videos every Monday and Wednesday on books, and today I'm so excited because one of my favorite books I've read so far this year was Big Little Lies. It was just so addictive, so smart, so fun, and it finally premiered a few days ago, so I want to talk about the first episode. And I just want to say in terms of spoilers, because I asked you guys about this on Twitter, so I'm going to be filming a discussion of the first episode, and then once the series is over, I'll film an overall discussion with spoilers. But today's review will have no spoilers except for about the first episode, so if you haven't read the book, it doesn't matter. Even if you haven't seen the first episode, I think you'd be fine watching this because the first episode is essentially just kind of meeting the characters and build up anyway. I would also recommend to read the book first before the show, just because the book is so snarky and fun and smart, and even though it is long, which is I think why a lot of people are thinking they might want to watch the show instead, it goes by so fast. I don't think I met a single person who didn't read Big Little Lies within just a few days, which kind of says a lot since it's like 500 pages. I also do want to point out, because my hoodie does not just say drunk, I'm definitely not encouraging people to go out and black out. What it actually says is drunk on books. I thought this was kind of fitting for me, considering you guys know I have a bit of an obsession with terrible boxed wine since I'm a student. So I do want to emphasize this is not sponsored, this is not an affiliate link whatsoever. I don't get anything out of showing you guys this. I was just sent it by a company and that's it. And I do have a code for if you guys are interested in this, because I know a lot of you guys also enjoy cheap wine and reading. I think the company is called Books and Ballads, but they have a bunch of book related clothing, and this was definitely the item that, I don't know if this sounds good or not, but this was definitely the item that spoke to me. So in terms of what Big Little Lies is about, in case on the off chance you're watching this and you haven't seen the show or read the book, think of it kind of like Desperate Housewives, but a lot darker and grittier. There is a lot of fun and warmth to this, but it's definitely going to deal with some very heavy issues. You know that in the future one of these characters is dead. You're just told that at a trivia night someone dies, but you don't know who and you don't know how. But the real core of the book is not really a murder mystery. It's much more so, I can't say that, about the relationships between three suburban moms and kind of the difficult things that they're dealing with. So in terms of the casting, first up we have Reese Witherspoon as Madeline, and I agree with a lot of people have been saying she is just absolutely perfect, like the little kind of spitfire personality. I did see some people complaining that she's a blonde in the show, and if I remember correctly, she was a brunette in the book, but honestly, who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. I think her acting and her persona is just perfect. Next we have Nicole Kidman as Celeste, and I have heard some negative feedback about Celeste and Jane, who I'll get into next, but I honestly think Nicole Kidman is perfect for Celeste. I mean, she's meant to be this kind of ethereal, flighty beauty, and I think Nicole is going to balance that really well with also a lot of the deeper stuff that she's going to have to deal with in the show. But I'm also just a massive Nicole Kidman fangirl. For some reason, I never feel like she gets as much credit as an actress as she deserves. Next is Shailene Woodley as Jane. Now, when I was reading a lot of reviews of the first episode, I was reading a lot of critiques saying that people apparently, and I didn't realize this, but apparently a lot of people don't really enjoy Shailene Woodley as an actress. They just don't think she's very good. I have to admit I haven't seen her in very much stuff at all. I've seen her in Divergent, I've seen her in Fault in the Stars, but I thought she was excellent in Fault in the Stars, so I've never gotten the impression that she's a terrible actress. I do think her acting is a bit flat in the show, but at the same time Jane's supposed to be that way, so I think that's completely fine. Also, the husbands I think are perfect. I know Adam Scott, which is Madeline's husband. In the book he's described as kind of being bald and not very attractive, and I think personally Adam Scott is adorable, but I think his personality perfectly matches Ed's personality in the book, so I'm really happy with it. Alexander Skarsgård I think is going to be an excellent Perry, and I'm really interested to see how his scenes with Nicole Kidman play out for the rest of the series. Strangely though, the person I'm most happy with is Bonnie, played by Zoe Kravitz. First, I'm glad they added some diversity to the show that wasn't in the book. Bonnie was one of the few characters in the book where I felt like she was such a caricature of this like hippie love child, but I think Zoe Kravitz is playing her kind of much more realistically, which I like. However, I think some of the best casting on the show are the children. First, Chloe, Madeline's daughter, is so sassy. The most unrealistic part of the show though is definitely her taste in music. I just don't see how that's possible, but I adore her. Ziggy I think is also perfect because for pretty much the entire book and for the entire show, you don't know whether or not he choked Amabella. And I think the Ziggy, I don't know the actor's name, but whoever the kid playing Ziggy is, I think is doing the perfect balance of being adorable but also creepy. So for the whole series, you're really gonna probably go back and forth wondering, did he choke the little girl? Did he not? I don't know. I can already tell one of my favorite parts of the show is definitely gonna be the score. The second the show ended, I went online looking to see what all the songs were, and I downloaded like pretty much all of the ones from the first episode, so I definitely hope that that stays consistent. So the only con that I will say is I thought the pacing was a little bit slow. Right now, I just don't think it's capturing that vibe of the book, which was kind of dark, but also really like snarky and upbeat and fast. Just as a random example, you have that scene with Reese Witherspoon kind of arguing with her daughter at the dinner table, and then immediately after you have her talking about it with her husband outside, and then immediately after you have her talking again with her daughter in her room, and the pacing just felt really good at some moments, and then it just felt like it would kind of come to a halt. But again, it is the first episode, so I understand that there kind of has to be a fair amount of exposition and build up. Now, I did hear, and don't worry, I'm not going to spoil and say what any of the changes are, but I have heard of what one change is going to be, and again, I won't say it, but I'm super unhappy about it because I just think it's going to make a lot of people who haven't read the book really dislike a character. So I won't say what it is, but basically they're just throwing in another storyline that wasn't in the book, which I'm not happy with. And again, I'm not one of those people who ever thinks the book is just always going to be better than the movie. I completely disagree with that. There are tons of books where I think the movie was better. However, this implementation of this storyline, I just don't think really works, but you know, we'll see. So overall, I'm really happy with it. The only minor issue I had with was the pacing, but again, it's the first episode, so whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you thought of the first episode, and again, if you are interested in this, I will have the link down below. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.